Hello, Olaminike. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Michael. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. I was speaking the other time, but I think my network was really bad. Even as I was unmuted, you guys couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I think so too. Hope you are good. Okay. All right, awesome. So, I think, in my own opinion, I think since we already have the type of water and we have the population of people the water is serving, so we can still call this same query, whatsoever query we use in achieving this, we can call that same query and do an aggregate on its side. Since we already have an aggregation of we already have an aggregation in the case of what's it called? In the case of sum for this guy. So we'll just do aggregation on the side, and that aggregation will be a calculation of trying to get the percentage of this guy. Then we'll name it percentage population. Does that make sense? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So do you think that will work?
Yeah, at this point, yeah, I've not even just lied to you. You say I'm here. I don't understand it.
You said what?
I think I have to. I think at this point, I really don't understand it.
Okay, so what they want us to do, we already got the population per water source, right? So they want us to now do a calculation of the percentage of each of these water source. We want to know the percentage each of these water sources having in the population. So then we already have the total population from the number one calculation we did. So they are now saying we should get the percentage for each one of these source. So I'm saying that we can still use the same query that we use in generating this table. We'll just add one more column, which will now be percentage of each one of these guys in the order of whatsoever we use in grouping these guys. So we definitely are grouping this guy by water type of water source. So in that same arrangement, we'll just do the calculation for each one of them. So we'll just do the calculation down the lane based on that. So that's it. Is it clearer now?
Yes, Michael, I think that works. Like in the query to,
You said what?
can you hear me?
Probably I did hear
Can you
that.
hear me?
Yeah, can hear you now.
I said that in the query that we use to generate this table,
Yes.
like we'll just like add like a third column where we'll
Yes.
do the sum of total number of people served divided by our number of total times 100. I will name
Yes.
it as percentage, like we'll do an alias as percentage of people served or
Exactly.
something.
Exactly.
I think it should work like that.
Okay. Good. Good. Awesome. All right. So let's move on. Yeah. So this is exactly what we're saying. So they even removed the total, the sum, and they just converted it to the percentage something. I think that should bring us to that point. And would we be able to look into all of these questions this night? We are still on number 4. So let's round that off to 0 decimal and order the result. So they want us to do a rounding up on the what's it called, the results we probably generate. We round it up to 0 decimal place, and then we then order it in what's it called, descending order. Who wants to explain how to do the rounding up? Anybody? Follow me.
So, so I think we'll put everything inside a round function.
Okay.
Like select where we did the percentage division, then we just put it in a round function and it should
Okay.
round up, or round comma zero, and it should round up.
That will make a lot of sense. So we'll just use a round function. In that case, we'll put the same query we had before. We'll just change where we have the percentage and then probably put it in inside that round function. That makes sense. So by adding tap in home broken together, we see that 13%. So he's still talking about the insight being generated. I'm trying to fast forward so that we don't get caught up in what's it called. So the next question is saying start of a solution. So at some point, we have to fix or improve all of the infrastructures. So we should start thinking of how we can make a data-driven decision, how to do it, how to do it. I think a simple approach to fix these things that affect most people first is to fix the things that affect most people first. So let's write a query that ranks each type of source based on how many people in total use it. So they want us to use the rank function now. The rank should tell you where we are going, should tell you where we are going to need a window function to do this. So let's think through the problem. So how do we solve this now? How are we going to solve this one? So we'll need the following column. Type of source, easy. Total people served, grouped by the types. So we'll have to group what's it called, the type of source. Summing up, aggregating the total people that is served. So we did that earlier. Then a rank based on the total people served, grouped by the types. Saying a little bit harder. How do you go about this rank? Fermi, have you done this before? The ranking stuff.
I've seen this before, but I don't think I've actually done it before. So I was suggesting that, I don't know, maybe we should go through the models before, because
It looks clustered, Abby.
like we're just being abstract. But I believe that they already told us what to do. We'll use the rank function. Like, would rank all the populations or the percentage of the population. So by itself, it's going to give us a third column where to return the rank according to
What the
the,
question is saying, Abby?
yes.
Okay. Let's move on. So they want us to use a window function on the total people served column, converting it into a rank. So you can see they're saying type of water source, people served, ranked by population. So it's being ranked by this column, I guess. I don't know how the function works, but I think by the time we start studying, we'll get to see. So the next question is saying, so create a query to do this and keep these requirements in mind. The source within each type should be assigned. Okay, so it's still explaining the rank something. So try the different rank functions in queries. Imagine yourself in an engineer's boots and try to interpret the priority list. Thinking about the user of a table helps us to design the table better. In the line of thought, would it make sense to give them a list of source IDs? How would they know where to go? Well, I don't know. So now the question number 6 is analyzing the queues. So we are trying to look into the queues now. So question number 1 says, to calculate how long the survey took, we need to get the first and the last date. Which function can find the largest / smallest value? and subtract them. Remember, with date time data, we can't just subtract the values. So we have to use a function to get a difference in days. Okay. When I do it, I get 924 days, which is about 2.5 years. Okay. I'm just trying to fast track here. So the question number 2 says, let's see how long people have to queue on average in Maji Undogo. Keep in mind that many sources like TAPS have no queues. These are just recorded as 0 in time in queue column. These are just recorded as 0 in time in queue column. So when we calculate averages, we need to exclude some rows. So we need to exclude some rows. Try using the null if to do this. So there is a function called null if. So it's a conditional function that we use to probably solve this part. All right. So you should get a queue time of about 1 to 3 minutes. Okay. So question number 3 says, so let's look at the queue time aggregated across the different days of the week. We should use the day. The day function gives you the day of the month, and it went to aggregate data for each day to the week. We need to use another datetime function, day name, that accepts a column. As the name suggests, it returns the day from a timestamp as a string. Using that on the time of record column, will result in a column with day names, Monday, Tuesday, etc. from the timestamp. So to do this, we need to calculate the average queue time grouped by day of the week. Remember to revise datetime function and also think about how to represent the results clearly. Okay. We have question number 4. We can also look at what time during the day people collect water. Try to order the results in a meaningful way. Hour of the day, blah, blah, blah. I think we will have to use something related to time. Average queue time. Okay. So this is more or less like what the query would look like. Time formats, time. We'll get there. Try it and look at the format. This is much easier for someone to interpret and help us to tell the story better. Okay. So this is showing more or less like in a time format more. So I think this is the query at the end of the day. If you run this query, you will see what I mean. Okay. Okay. And this is like the final query. Okay, here's your challenge. Fill out the query for the rest of the day and run it. Make sure to specify the day in the case function and the alias. All right. Okay. Wow. So we built a pivot table in SQL. The thing I want you to remember today, SQL is a set of tools we can apply. By understanding case, we could build a complex query that aggregates our data in a format that is easy to understand. All right. And I guess we have the last question. Start of our plan. So yeah, practical solution. So I think this is the last part of the whole thing. Fermi, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Are you with us?
Present, sir.
Ah, well done, boss. Me, I've lost as I am like this. I am down upstairs, like I'm not even processing, I'm just reading. So I think we should be able to make better sense from this as we begin to solve the questions. Now that we've looked through the whole thing, should probably make more sense when we come back to it again. Because as I did like this, I no process again. I'm so tired.
Definitely, I mean, you've tried.
You said what?
Well, I said you've really tried. It's even good that we did a run through like this, so
Thanks,
we have
boss.
a brother like that now.
Thank you, boss. From me, you were going to say something.
Yeah, just to corroborate what he said, I think we'd actually need to even go through the modules to be able to solve like the later parts, at least.
Yeah.
The from the Windows functions part. So we need to actually go through the modules to be able to solve them.
So I think with this, we should be able to put better sense to the movie, and then we'll move from there. So I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, so and I wanted to, I don't know if it's a question or a suggestion, but anyways, this one. So like I know that some of us are like very new to SQL.
Uh,
So and we're just going with the pace of explore AI. Is it possible that we outsource that we can practice stuff that we have learned, not just using explore AI to just go through it stretch like that. Like for last week now, where we did basics of SQL, like we can look for questions that we can use to practice different ways that we can use the condition, the where all those things. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying. Did you join the class on Friday and Saturday?
Yes, the where we used Akarank and
Yeah.
another website.
Yeah.
Yes,
MySQL, and then one SQL practice was good. So that's the way we want to be doing actually. But if you have better idea of how to go by it, please you are free to share with us.
no, I'm just I was it was the class that also made me think I should mention this as well. You know, the thing with Akarank or those websites where the complexity was increasing as we were
Yeah.
moving down. We were only able to answer maybe two or three questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying we should probably look for like a
Other
question based
sources.
that would also have the database that
Okay.
we
We
know
can
that we're just
check
practicing basics. We're just practicing. And again, I don't know. For me, one limitation with Akarank is that you cannot see your database that you're querying. It will just tell you that this is your table.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if you, so you cannot see the database you're querying. You're just working like you just have to write all the queries in your head. Because for me, I like to like break down. If they say select, like when they give you a complex query, I prefer to like select all first and save it in my database. They know what I'm doing, know what I'm doing. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to
I
say.
get your
Anyways.
point. I get you clearly. So what I would say is this. What the idea you are bringing to the table is exactly what we want to do. Okay. We actually want to be able to practice at least what we are learning and put them to better use. But we are only using idea based on what we know to do that. So if you have any platform that can give us something like that, today I was checking data count because of what those guys mentioned at Data First. So I was looking through their website and see Data Camp is also a learning platform where you can see different challenges, but I was not able to probably look through it all through. So I'll probably press on Data Camp. But if you have any other platform that you feel that we can get some of these kind of things, questions, and then data, what's it called, data sets to now work around. I mean, that would be a good suggestion. And so our flow is more or less like we would treat our integrated project first, using what we've learned to solve the integrated project. Then when we are done with that, we then now use the knowledge we have to now start solving other real life problems or questions online. So if you have platform where we can get the question, can share with us. Hmm?
All right. So there was a boot camp I attended. So like
Okay.
I have like a set of questions that they gave us to like practice basics. So I can just share that. It's
Oh,
not a platform, it's a PDF file.
now you're talking, man. Yeah,
Yeah, so
we
it's
can
a
talk.
mix. So I guess we can just solve like the basic ones that we can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
while we
It's not even a basic one thing. Once we get the question, we just lay our hands on it and we tackle. There's a place for research. We go online, we do ChatGPT, we check everywhere possible and see how best to solve the question. That's what we want to be doing.
and that's fine as well. But the last time before today, I think somebody was saying we should just go with what we have been taught.
Yeah, that
I
was
mean, we
me. That was me actually. The idea was the fact that if we if we start jumping ahead of ourselves, it's not bad. When we are solving the question, it's not bad that we challenge ourselves to go online and research. But the problem there is some people will now feel being left behind, especially those who are not so proactive at the research and everything going here and there. They feel like, but we've not done this one. Where are you getting this from? And then they might feel like we are leaving them. So that's why I said that. But in cases whereby we have the question and the question, like, look at what we have today now. Obviously, it's so clear that we need to go and read more and study more to know how to solve it. So if the question is already there, we cannot do but say we should research and try a way to solve the problem, knowing clearly that it's not coming from Explore AI. So there's nowhere we want to to go and read more about it. So the best would be that we research and just try and solve the problem. Do you get my point?
yes, I do. Absolutely.
So we'll look into that. I will
All
also
right.
I'll draw I'll put into our plan from tomorrow and we
All right.
can
I'll send you the PDF file and
no
the
problem.
database. Right.
No problem. I will appreciate if you can just put it in a drive so that it's also easy to distribute across.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're
All right.
welcome. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.